Hello, I'm Kristin from the Rogers Public Library, and this week for Catch 'em All at the Library, we will be focusing on Smoliv. So you'll have your coloring sheet, and then in your craft packet, you will also have a green plastic string, a keychain, and a bag of a whole bunch of beads. And I will show you how to make a Smoliv beaded keychain. So to begin, we're going to take our keychain and our plastic string, and we're going to thread our string through the small loop on the keychain till we get it about halfway, and then we're going to tie a knot. We'll pull it as tight as we can. Then we're going to take one end and our large round green bead and thread that on, and then we are going to tie another knot, and we'll pull it as tight as we can. And then we'll take one side, we're going to take two dark green beads and put them on. And we'll bring them all the way to the top. And then you're going to take your plastic string and thread it back through the dark green closest to our lighter green, and just hold the beads in place. And then pull it tight. These are going to be the leaves on Smoliv's head. So then we'll go ahead and take the other string that we haven't done yet and put two more dark green beads on. Bring them all the way up and then thread through the one closest to the light green again. And then we'll pull it tight. And there we have two of our leaves on our Smoliv's head. So now we need to make two more. So we're going to do the same thing. Take one side of our string, put two more dark green beads on it, bring them all the way up to the top, and thread our plastic string back through and pull it as tight as we can. Now we have three. So then take your other string, the other end, we're going to put two more dark green beads on, pull them all the way up, thread back through the bottom bead, and pull it as tight as we can. Now we have four little leaves on our Smoliv's head. And now we're going to take both of our strings. We're going to take one more dark green bead and thread it onto both strings. Pull it tight so that we have a base for our Smoliv's leaves. Then we're going to separate our strings again and go into the body of our Smoliv. So now we're going to take one light green bead and put one on each side, right up at the top. So now we have one light green bead on each side. Now we're going to pick a side. We're going to put 4 light green beads on. Bring them up towards the others, but then we're not going to go all the way up, and we're going to take the other string from the other side and thread it through all 4 of these, going the opposite direction. And then we can gently pull on both strings, and then we want it to line up beneath. So if you get it to where it's only on one side, then just pull them back a little bit, and then pull both strings carefully until they're right up against our former 2. Now again, we'll take one string, and this time we are going to put 6 light green beads on. And we'll bring them up towards the top, grab our other string, and thread it through all 6. And then pull it until it gets to the top again. And again, if it starts going more towards one side than the other, you can just loosen it back up and pull the string on the side that it's closer to. And now that's our next row. So we'll continue through most of this doing the same thing, threading the string through on one side and then the other and pulling it tight. Our next row, we'll use 2 light green, then 1 black, then another 2 light green, then your other black, then 2 more light green. Pull it up towards the top, grab the other string, thread it through, and then pull both to get it to go all the way to the top. And now we have our Smoliv's eyes, yay! The next row will have 8 light green, if when you are pulling it starts to bunch up like this, then you can just lay it out and press it down to flatten it again. Our next row is going to use 2 light green and then 4 dark green and then 2 more light green. And this will be our Smoliv's mouth. Our next row again will have 8 light green beads. And our next row will have 7 light green beads. Now all we have to do is add our Smoliv's feet and tie off the ends. So we're going to take one side of our string and we're going to skip over this first bead and thread it one more time through the second bead and just pull it through. Same thing on the other side. Skip over the first bead, thread through the second bead on this row, and then pull it through. This is going to cause a little gap between your last two rows, but that's all right. Then we're going to take one more bead and put it on each one. And then we'll go around that bead through the third bead on the row. And then pull that string tight. So we'll do that with each one. Thread it up and go through this third bead on this side. And pull the string through. And to help with this gap, we're going to take our strings and pull one string back up through the gap and around this side, and then we're going to tie a knot. Try and pull it tight, and do the same on the other side, up from the back. And then tie a knot. And try and pull it as tight as you can. Then we're going to lay our Smoliv back out, smush him down so he's flat. And then just for extra security, you can go ahead and tie another knot if you would like, or you can just leave it like that. Either way, but I'm going to go ahead and tie another knot. And then we'll take some scissors and just trim off the extra plastic string, and then you have your very own little Smoliv keychain. So you can add him to a backpack or a purse or whatever you'd like. It's our little Smoliv. If you would like to share pictures of your completed Smoliv keychains in the comments, I would love to see them. Otherwise, I will see you next week for another Catch 'em All at the Library. Bye.